Thank you for listening to the Weeknight Mysteries podcast. My name is Yuras, and I am here with my co-host Rain. How are you today?
As always, pretty good. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. This is going to be episode number 76. To all of our listeners, we always ask you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment and hit the notification bell if you want to keep up with us on YouTube. And if you are listening to us on one of the podcast apps, please follow us on any platform that you follow other podcasts on. And you could also leave a review for us because moving forward, that kind of helps us a lot. So today we're going to be talking about the case that actually Rain came across. So it's going to be Joseph Balderas, the strange disappearance of a 36-year-old man, from what I remember, in Alaska back in 2016. How did you found Joseph's case?
Through Instagram. Actually, I don't know why. Ever since we started a podcast together, I kept on seeing my algorithm kind of redirects me to mysterious disappearances. And I was just randomly scrolling one day and I came across this one. It's Nome, Alaska. And I got really curious because it's a place I've never heard of before. And when I check Google Maps, it should be a place we never heard of before. It feels so isolated.
Yeah, it's a very small town. It's, I think, 3,000 inhabitants are living there. It's close to the Russian border, to be honest. You know how Alaska connects to Russia eventually.
Yeah.
So it's kind of close. And yeah, what jumped out to you about the case that you suggested to us?
It's one of the missing people, one of the many missing people in Nome, Alaska. Because it's very interesting at this town. It made me wonder, what would make you stay here in this town?
I actually had to look a little bit into Nome. So Nome had a pretty famous gold rush back in the day where gold miners would go to the beach in Nome, and they wouldn't even have to get a deed, or I forgot what it's called. It's like this term back in the day, when you needed to get some sort of a legal document from the government, I think in America, in order to mine gold. But in Nome, Alaska, you didn't have to do it because the gold was apparently on the sand.
Also, it's kind of like the ambers in the Baltic.
Something similar. And there was that gold rush, and I think that's when they had a lot of people living there. And after that, I also believe Nome was the biggest, or sorry, the biggest city in Alaska at some point in its history, if I remember correctly. And also, what else was there that we can remember? Basically, the gold rush is what I understand. Now they have, I think, some coal mines, or some sort of a mines, maybe not coal mines. And I know that they have Bering Air, which is this. Once again, I could be forgetting the exact name of this airline. But they are a headquarter for a small Alaskan airline, and there was even a fairly well-known airplane accident last year when I think 10 people unfortunately passed away because the Bering Air flight crashed at some point, and I believe it was due to the fact that, at least the investigation stated, it had a bigger load than it was supposed to have. So I think maybe that is one of the reasons. But basically, this is Nome. Nome, Alaska, and you're saying that there's a lot of people missing in Nome, Alaska?
Apparently, yeah, historically. You came across that too, right?
I came across another disappearance that actually some people are grouping with Joseph's case, the one that we're going to be talking about today. But what else do you know about the disappearances or anything specific?
Apparently, a lot of them are connected to police, allegedly. And also, a lot of them were indigenous people.
So police corruption, cover up.
As far as I know, yeah.
So
A lot of them too.
police
But
are
it's alleged.
so allegedly police are responsible for some disappearances in Nome, Alaska.
Some people also claim that, because, there's no official reason for all of these disappearances. Allegedly, police force over there could be to blame, but also some people are saying it could be the harsh environment, which is completely understandable because it is harsh in there and isolated.
Yeah, I know that there is a big bear population in Nome, Alaska, or in the surrounding areas, and I guess I read somewhere that apparently I can't be too certain here, but I feel like I read somewhere about alcoholism being also a problem in these locations.
Hey, you're isolated in a cold place. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, it kind of sounds a little bit like Lithuania sometimes, right? And it makes
We
sense.
have long winters here.
Yeah, when the winter comes, I mean, literally the sun is not there for like 2 months. Literally, you might not see the sun for 2 months, even in this like country, and we're not even in Alaska. You know what I mean? So I could see how drinking is a good time to pass the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it has to be, I guess.
To wait for the summer, to wait for the sun to go back.
Yeah, but you have to kind of like stay in control of your life.
So interesting, this place, Nome, Alaska. Alaska in general, I always was curious about it because it feels like it is part of America, but it feels so isolated and on its own. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. It's a very interesting place. I would love to go one day, but it's probably crazy expensive for us because we have to first get ourselves to America, which is already like, it's not like crazy expensive, but it's something.
It's something.
And then you probably have to pay way more for those internal American flights, right? Because I assume like, okay, everyone flying from Europe usually lands in New York, I feel
Or
like.
LA, maybe.
But I think most of flights, I feel like, go to New York. So people always land in New York, and then from New York you would have to catch some sort of probably crazy expensive flight to Anchorage, and then catch a crazy expensive flight to Nome with like a small Cessna plane. I mean, it would be really cool to do, but
Oh, hey, one day maybe this YouTube channel will blow up and
or the
we'll
podcast,
have the funds. Yeah.
we need like more. It's a
Please like and subscribe.
yeah, we need more people listening, but eventually, absolutely. Okay, so now let's jump into today's topic. So Joseph Balderas. At first, when you look at this case online, you might think that there is not that much to talk about.
He doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. That's how it feels like there's nothing there.
I agree with you, but after digging into Joseph's case for, a couple of days here and there, I was able to see a little bit of a rabbit hole in this thing. And also, there's actually quite something to talk about. So I guess let's start talking about the case and let's see what we found.
Yeah, and just to say it here, I have no idea how you managed to find more information about it.
No, it's nothing magic. Like, it's literally just Google the name. I swear. There is.
But there are Facebook groups, right?
Yeah. So it's like I didn't do anything.
Okay, because it's so interesting. So, like, the cases that we talk about, a lot of them actually have Wikipedia pages that it's your starting point, you know what I mean? And if not, there's this very nice, very detailed write-up on Reddit that you could start your research with. But for Joseph's case, there's nothing.
There are a few sources. I'm gonna get into them right now, like at least what I found. So Joseph Balderas, he went missing on the weekend of June 24th back in 2016. So in fact, I feel like it just was his 10-year anniversary of him being a missing person. So it's probably a tough time for the family. I know that his family greatly miss him and they have been active in trying to find answers. I feel like they probably created a Facebook group. I've seen a Facebook group. I don't know who runs it. And I've seen some articles. So the family does talk to the media. Family, I think, also maybe talked to a podcast. We're going to be talking about it. A different podcast. But that's coming up. So he was 36 back in 2016. So if he is still alive, I think he would be around 46 now. He was last seen on June 24th, which was 3 days before he was officially reported missing, I believe, because he was reported missing on the 27th of June, which was Monday, but he was last seen on the 24th of June, which is, I believe, Friday. So, he was last seen at his work on Friday. He was working as a law clerk in the Nome 2nd District Court. You know, even a small place like Nome has its own legal team, basically, legal people.
I'm actually also surprised that it has an airport on its own.
It has an airport. It has a whole airline. So it's
It's something.
It seems like Nome is punching above its weight. Absolutely. One of his colleagues, I think, was the last people to see him, and this was, I believe, a woman by the name of Tracy Buey. And she reported him missing also, I believe, on Monday when he didn't show up for work. So the guy went missing on the weekend. So what happened was that Tracy went to work on Monday, June 27th, and she was told that her colleague Joseph had not shown up for work that Monday. And also she was told that his girlfriend had called the court and was concerned because she could not get a hold of him. So Joseph had a girlfriend. The girlfriend's name was Megan Ryder. Megan, as I understand, wasn't living in Nome, but the couple had plans to get married. I think they were engaged and they were supposed to relocate to another city together in Alaska. And this was supposed to happen within a couple of weeks of him disappearing. So mind this information, please, as we go on. So Tracy now is in a strange spot because, her colleague didn't show up for work on Monday. She saw him on Friday. And the girlfriend, who is out of town, also called the work and said, I can't get a hold of Joseph. Have you seen him? So Tracy, I believe, went to the police and reported him missing, from what I understand. Joseph would usually inform his colleague Tracy if he was not going to show up for work. This is especially interesting because this time he did not mention anything. He was to show up on Monday, but he is now gone. Joseph's mother is Nelda Balderas. She said of her son that Joseph is actually a very intelligent person, and she also mentioned that he is the only one that finished college in the family. Joseph grew up in Texas, in the city of Lubbock. He had 4 siblings, of which he was the middle child. He apparently was a very caring uncle to his extended family member, and he had a great relationship with his family. No friction has been reported by the media, from what I can see. In 2014, 2 years before his disappearance, Joseph actually moved to Alaska, to Nome, and to work as a law clerk. He enjoyed the Alaska lifestyle because he was a very outdoorsy guy. He liked to go fishing, hiking, and he was mentioned to be participating in the community events in Nome. I actually read a little bit about Nome in general, and since it kind of gets isolated there, and I feel like during the darkest time of the year, if I am not mistaken here, if I'm not talking complete nonsense here, I think the daylight is 4 hours. So it's very dark. It gets very dark if I understand correctly. So what people in Nome do, they participate in community events. They go to the pub, they hang out, they socialize. It helps them deal with the darkness.
Oh, that's very important. That's very important.
Yeah, because in Lithuania you could kind of already feel that.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is like in in the northern part of America. I feel like we're on the similar like
Line
line.
on the globe.
So
Are we?
I think so, right? 'Cause
Okay, let me quickly check it.
Can you check? Because I feel like I always thought that New York has identical weather to Lithuania. So that's what I always was thinking. So I think some Americans also definitely know the feeling of dark nights and things get lonely. So we need to stay connected to one another. So Rain right now is Googling, so let's give her some
Sorry, it's
time.
just North America is so massive.
No,
I have
take
to
your
keep
time.
on zooming out.
Oh, you're looking at some map?
Yeah, I'm looking at the map and I'm checking like which.
What are you checking?
Oh, so basically Nome is like on the same, roughly the same edge as Greenland, Iceland. Iceland is Iceland.
Okay, so it's up there.
So it's way up there. Iceland and probably the northern part of Sweden.
Oh, it's up. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And Lithuania is like, I think, like around Toronto. Toronto? Maybe even above Toronto, dude.
I could see Edmonton
On the same line?
on this practically the same
Oh,
line as
man,
Edmonton.
we're so up north?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So we're even more up north than New York. Okay.
Wait, let me check New York.
I feel like we are.
Or maybe I don't know how this line works, but it
Yeah.
feels like New York is like France
Yeah.
or UK or Germany.
I think let's just
Let's stop it right here.
let's stop it right here. So let's continue. Joseph had a great family life, and he was working now for 2 years as a law clerk in Nome, Alaska. Joseph was engaged to his girlfriend, Megan Ryder. I don't know exactly where Megan was living, but I know that Megan was supposed to visit Joseph for the 4th of July, which was coming up back in 2016. And the two of them actually had plans to live in Juneau. I don't know how to pronounce. It's fine. But the city, Juneau, it's, I think, the third biggest city in Alaska, and it is the state capital. So it's a bigger city by a lot. It's, I think, has 30,000 people living there. So this city has way more people. And Joseph was actually supposed to relocate with his fiancée to this Juneau town. And he was even supposed to open up his own law practice, become a business owner.
It's so interesting for me. You know how a lot of people who came from a smaller city or a smaller town, let's say, would dream of or would plan to move in a bigger city, in a major city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just so interesting to me how they decided to go into a more remote town. Does that make sense?
So Juno was bigger than Nome.
No, but I meant from Texas.
Oh yeah, from Texas.
It's just very interesting.
I don't know exactly why Joseph moved to Texas, but he is a very outdoorsy person, and from the pictures that you can find online, he's always in the outdoors.
Yeah.
So he enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph was an outdoorsman, adventurous, would go out for hikes and runs in the vast lands surrounding Nome. Joseph would go canoeing, hiking, and actually he would sleep out in the middle of nowhere. This caused his mother Nelda to be very concerned. Nelda had a conversation with Joseph, I think fairly shortly before Joseph went missing. Nelda told him not to go hiking alone. Joseph told his mother that everyone else is working, he can't get anyone else to go with him, and that everything will be fine. However, this particular time it wasn't fine. Joseph's vehicle was actually located on the same day when he was reported missing. Let's remember that Joseph was reported missing on the 27th of June, which was Monday when he failed to show up for work. At the same day, his vehicle, which is a truck, was found at mile 44 marker on the Nome Council Highway, where he was believed to be hiking or mountain running. So one interesting thing about Nome that I found out is that actually there is no road leading out of Nome. The only way to get outside of Nome, let's say to Anchorage or some bigger city, is by taking a boat or flying out. This road that his car was found actually leads to an even more remote community called Council. So his car was found along this road. This road is very isolated. I read online that you could drive for hours without seeing a single car, so it's a very isolated, very rural type road, but it looks like a proper road. It has.
I wonder if they even have like phone signals there.
That's a good question.
Right? It feels too isolated to have anything.
I don't know the answer to that question. That's a good question. So his vehicle was found actually on the same day. I think it was spotted by several people, and the police went out there and they found it.
How can someone even spot it? I thought it was so remote.
No, cars do pass there.
But rare, I guess.
Yeah, but I feel like everyday cars pass. Just like you could go yourself for a long time without seeing anyone.
Okay, and it's a rough road.
I don't know if it's super rough road. It looks like it's normally paved, but I could be wrong. This was also the summer, so I think in the summer I assume it's a bit better.
Yeah.
So they found his truck. Now, when they approached it, and we have a picture of his truck, it looks like a regular run-of-the-mill truck, like a classic American pickup truck. The truck was unlocked, okay? It's a dark blue truck. I think it could be like a Dodge it looks to me more like a Dodge than a Ford, but I could be wrong here.
It looks massive though.
Yeah, it's a two-door truck, like it has two doors and has the bed in the back. So the truck was unlocked, and inside of it they found a backpack with fishing accessories and a pair of waders. I don't know how to pronounce them, but
What even are those?
those are like a fishing onesie. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I have
okay.
no idea how to better describe it than a fishing onesie. And they also found fishing accessories in there. So it looks like he potentially was out fishing for the weekend. Let's remember that Joseph never really explained to anyone what he was gonna do, like exactly. I think he talked to another person about his trip, but nothing concrete. He never.
It's also interesting that he didn't update his girlfriend about his whereabouts.
I don't really know about the last communication with a girlfriend. I don't think we know this.
Unless it could be just a quick trip, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be the whole day.
Also, that's really interesting because To be honest, I don't know exactly when he was last seen because we have conflicting reports, maybe a little bit. So we're gonna kind of get into it. So when they found his car, they immediately started searching for him. It was apparently one of the biggest searches in Nome's history. Air searches were conducted but showed no signs of Joseph. And the search continued by air and by land for multiple days. We have some pictures from the search here. You could even take a look. I left these pictures in our file. Yeah, so
I mean, there are a lot of people. It's just that from the picture, it feels like the land is so vast. Like, how do you even start?
yeah, the land looks very vast from the pictures, right?
Yeah, I could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Maybe there are more out of the picture, but it feels like it's not enough to cover what I'm seeing, like the area.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's a huge area. We have people on ATVs in their hiking outfits, everything. So a scent trail was located by a trailing dog team, and the scent actually went from the truck to the river, but not on the other side of the river. So this is, I think, the first clue here is that the dogs tracked his scent to the river. But on the other side, they didn't pick it up. And the dogs also indicated in another piece of vegetation, they were like, oh, we think Joseph could have been here. This piece of vegetation is actually along the highway, heading from the vehicle to the big Hurrah Bridge. So I don't know the exact location where Joseph's car was found, but I was able to find this big Hurrah Bridge. And it looks like it's, to be honest, it looks like it's a bridge. It's going over the river, I think, the Solomon River, or I don't know what this river was actually called. The river itself doesn't look too big, doesn't look too wide. I don't know how deep it is, but I feel like it was maybe shallow, I think, or I could be wrong here. And to me, it looks like it's fairly isolated location, and I don't know what to make of it. That there was an indication of him being at some specific vegetation location. What do you think about it?
It would be so helpful if we at least know where this area where the dogs collected the scent, the river, and how far is it from the bridge? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. This would help us out.
Because right now it feels like two opposite locations and we don't know how to connect them together. Is it a walking distance away or is it like 3 hours away? Maybe not 3 hours, 2 hours.
Sorry, can you repeat?
I meant the location where the police dogs found his scent,
Yeah.
the river. I would like to know if we have any information at how far the distance is from the bridge to that place.
Ah, okay.
Do we have anything?
I just assume it's close.
Yeah, I'm assuming
I
it's
don't
close.
think it's 3 hours. I think it's like close.
No, I'm just wondering if there's a chance he could have walked to the bridge, or was he picked up? Or was it a bear?
I don't know, to be honest. That's a good question. That's a good question, to be honest, because beers have been brought up in this case,
Yeah.
but
But it should be messy, no?
that is what the private investigator hired by the family said. If there were beer involvement, that there should be more signs. They found no signs of Joseph. So, actually, on July 2nd, which would be, I believe, just several days into his disappearance, it was determined that the search would be stopped due to risk to search and rescue personnel because they were doing flyovers and they noticed a lot of bears in the area. So they were like, it's better to scale back. And the team determined that it is unlikely that Joseph was still alive and just, in need of help somewhere, trapped in the foliage, in the brush. So they said that Since most likely by this time Joseph is not alive anymore, unfortunately, they will be scaling back the search. And this actually happened only, I think, 4 or 5 days into his disappearance. That's when the family, I think, hired the private investigator called Andy Clamser. So I think maybe the family hired the attorney, which hired the investigator. I feel like it was something like this. I read it that the setup was such. And Andy Clamser started working, and he immediately said, I can discount two theories. The first theory that Andy discounted was the bear attack theory, because he says there should have been more evidence given the amount of search effort that has been put forward. The other one that he immediately excluded was self harm, because Joseph had plans, apparently, and he was 2 weeks away from moving to Juneau and setting up his law practice, as well as getting married with his fiancée. So he said that self harm is also ruled out. So if it was not a bear attack and not self harm, then there is another theory about foul play. So Joseph's sister, Selena, she agrees that Joseph would have not taken his own life because he was happy and excited about the future. And she said that the search was okay, the effort was big. However, she, I think, was a little critical to the investigation potentially. I'm not sure how critical, but maybe a little critical because they only considered an accident. And Selena says that the search and rescue never considered foul play, or like maybe not search and rescue, but maybe the investigation. But foul play, now this is where things kind of get interesting because we do have, in fact, and I'm going to ask you real quick, do you know about the foul play angle? Have you heard about the foul play angle in this case?
Yes.
About the roommate? Okay, so let me quickly go over this and then you tell me what you think, okay? So this is the foul play angle in this case. Apparently, Joseph was living with a roommate in Nome. The roommate's name is Jake Stettenbenz. You could find him on media articles. That's why I think it's fine to talk about him. Apparently, Jake, his roommate, lied to authorities about what exactly he was doing on the weekend when Joseph went missing. So what actually happened was that when he was first interviewed by the police, he said that he had gone bridge jumping with friends. I don't know exactly what that was. I thought maybe it was bungee jumping, but it could be something else.
Isn't it? I kind of imagine you attach yourself like on the bridge and then you jump over the bridge. Bridge jumping. Let me quickly Google that.
Yeah, what is bridge jumping? I just thought it was bungee jumping, but I could be wrong here. I feel like I'm wrong. So we're gonna give Rain some time.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like bungee jumping but without the rope. You jump from a bridge to the water and you swim.
Ah, okay. Because it was the summer.
It was the summer.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the things we would never do because it looks too scary.
Maybe I would do actually, but it does look dangerous potentially. So he said to the police that he went bridge jumping with his friends Emery, Boshu, and Tyler A.D. So he said that they went jumping off bridges in the afternoon on Saturday, June 25th. Remember, Joseph was last accounted for on Friday. But I feel like Joseph potentially went on his own hike, as I understand, also on Saturday.
And nobody knows.
Nobody knows, I guess.
Because Joseph never really sent anyone an update about it, right?
Well, he kind of did. We're going to get into it in a bit. We'll see what he actually did. But now, when we talk about Jake, the guy who lied. He said that he took Tyler and Emery bridge jumping on Saturday in the afternoon. But afterwards, when they looked at Jake's phone history, his messages, when they looked at his messages on July 4th, they actually found that he had sent text messages to Tyler and Emery, and he told his friends that he had to use them in a fake story for the state trooper. And he told Tyler and Emery that he told police that after the three of them went bridge jumping that day, then they took a drive out to Solomon at 8 p.m. and got back at 1 a.m. So he basically told his friends via text, I lied to police because, yeah, I had to come up with this story. So now this
Why
guy...
would you even text it though?
Yeah, and this guy already looks kind of weird, right? Kind of shaky. So who is Jake? Who the heck is Jake Stettenbenz? So I'm pretty sure I was able to find him online. I think he is a bit of a native descent from his, you know,
Physical
facial
appearance.
features. Yeah, so he could be from those parts. I think I found him as a swimmer back in the day and even a wrestler. So he used to be like a very fit guy.
Oh, so basically they're both active, Joseph and Jake.
Yeah, I don't know how close they were to each other. This was never explained. Now you could still find him. You could find him on Instagram. I believe you could find him on Instagram. He now looks like a father, you know. His profile is private, so we don't really know much about his life. But he is also has a pretty interesting bio on his Instagram. His bio says, I solemnly, what is this word?
Solemnly swear I am not up to no good.
Yeah.
I would immediately say it's a Harry Potter quote.
Is it?
Yes.
What, can you say it again?
I solemnly swear I am up to no good.
Okay.
So it's nothing weird. It sounds weird if you're unaware of the...
It's in the HP.
Yes.
When did who said it?
In one of the books. I can't remember who said it, but it was there.
Okay.
And I only remember it because at one point when I was a teenager, I would also used to say it.
This particular quote? Oh, it's when the kids probably had to do some magic little...
I think it's when those twins from Harry Potter, the redhead twins,
I know them.
they were doing pranks to... I can't remember exactly what happened, but they were saying it.
Ah, okay.
Like, I promise that I am up to no good. I'm causing trouble, something like that.
Ah, okay. I feel like I remember even when it was said. So there's nothing weird.
Nothing weird at all.
Okay, he's just a HP fan. Okay, so Jake is potentially a big time fan of Harry Potter. But now it's weird, right? Because why did he lie? Why did he
Yeah, the lie is crazy. And the way he texted the other two is also a bit weird.
So now he's kind of interesting to us. And this is what happened next. Emery actually texted him back. So Emery texted back and said, I honestly don't remember that day at all. And then Jake told Emery that he didn't either. And that's why he told the police the story. And then he apologized to Emery.
I wonder, when did the police interview him?
Police?
Jake.
I think pretty soon after Joseph's disappearance, because let's remember he lied to the police. And then on June 4th, which is like 7 days later, they were already coming for a second visit. So it was maybe like...
It wasn't like a year after.
No, it was like within a day, I would say.
Okay, it's a bit weird because I would understand it if it's a year after. Like, okay, I don't remember what happened that Saturday at all. But if it's just a fairly short I don't know. I would remember it because it's a Saturday. If it's a weekday, then yeah, it could blur out, but it's the weekend.
This is a good point, to be honest. Why is Jake lying? So when he was pressed, when police came out for him for like maybe the third time, when they were like, "Yo, dude, we caught you."
What's up?
Yeah, when they pressed him, so he was like, "I'm sorry, I lied. I wasn't. This was like my first time dealing with state troopers, and I'm not used to it." So he apparently lied because he doesn't remember exactly what he was doing. And I could see that. I could see that.
I can't see that, but
I
okay.
could see that. Like if, your roommate went missing, police came out here, maybe you were out, drinking.
And you barely remember what happened.
Yeah, you barely remember what happened. Maybe there was some drunk driving involved,
Oh.
And now you don't want to exactly say what you were doing. Because, you kind of want to like,
Be out of it.
yeah. So I could see how, because to be honest, I will just come up to you right now and just say, there is no known motive for Jake to
Commit the crime.
commit the crime, potentially kill Joseph. I didn't find this. I didn't see the motive during my research. Let's see what we have here. Oh, but this is where things get interesting. So Tyler replied to Jake also. Okay, maybe there is something more here. Tyler, the other friend, replied. He says, "But you weren't even with me. You were with Cam and Cass. And I slept in my cabin."
So who is Cam and Cass?
Other people that we don't know anything about. But I will say, to me now, this more sounds like some sort of a Friday, Saturday night drinking session between the boys.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what I mean?
I could see
so
that.
it feels like the boys drinking.
Like barely remember what happened.
Yeah, to me it sounds like that. That could be happening from the description. When investigators confronted Jake, he admitted to lying because he had little experience dealing with police and he was nervous.
The thing about this is that maybe did they interview Cam and Cass?
I don't know.
We don't have any information about it, right?
No.
Because as a police, shouldn't they interview Cam and Cass? Like, were you actually with... I mean, as a police, maybe Jake, Cam, Cass, and who's the other dude?
Tyler?
Tyler. Yeah, and
Emery?
Jake. Emery. All of them. Shouldn't you interview all of them to get what actually happened that day?
I feel like they did.
They did?
I mean,
They should, right?
I would assume that they talked to
All of them.
all of them.
Let's just hope it's just not public and they did not get anything from it.
Man, but now you brought up the police, the fact that they are not very great.
I mean, there were a lot of stories about them not being the best in Nome.
In Nome, specifically. Nome cops.
There was even, I can't remember her name, I'm so sorry. I was listening to this podcast about Nome and there was this indigenous woman who I believe was killed by a cop. And that cop apparently was known to be SAing a lot of women in Nome.
Okay.
And when the women were going to the police about it, the police force were just shrugging it off. And this one particular officer, even told one of the women, or maybe more, I can't remember exactly, like, who are they gonna believe, me, an officer, or you, blah, 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 blah. But this cop, I can't remember if he was sentenced to jail or he died.
Is this like a recent case?
I can't remember. It also happened in Nome.
Okay.
Let me quickly check on that one.
Yeah, you go check on that one. Because
it was resolved. It's actually the first case that I've seen. That's why I thought, Nome is very interesting and we should talk about it. It's the case that led me to Joseph's case. But let me check on that.
It's not Florence, right? The lady's name is not Florence.
I can't remember. Give me a second. Go ahead.
Well, take your time then. I guess we are now gonna wait, but no pressure for you to Google this information right now. Because I have something else about Joseph that I want to mention that is quite interesting. To be honest, very interesting. But I don't want to run ahead right now because we might forget what we are talking about. Okay.
Sonia Ivanov.
Oh, Sonia Ivanov. I ran across her name. I don't know her story.
So she was walking home from a friend's house in Alaska in Nome when she was taken by a vehicle, and the witness said it has a Nome police department on the side. She was found the next day, and her body was found the next day.
Okay.
And when they checked on it, I could be wrong, but when they checked on it, oh no, when they checked more on it, when they investigated more on it, it led to a cop.
And was the cop found guilty?
Yes.
And do you know when it happened? Yeah, take your time. Because I think this is kind of crucial. Like, the town is quite small.
It's quite small, yeah.
And for this to be happening, it's pretty strange.
2003.
Okay, so it's a bit back.
It's a bit back. Yeah.
But still.
But apparently, when they were investigating Sonia's case, they also found out that there were more indigenous women that were harassed by that particular cop alone. And they either don't go to the police or they went, but the police were just shrugging it off.
So this cop killed women in Nome?
I'm not sure if women or just Sonia in particular.
But he killed Sonia.
Yes.
That's crazy. Okay. That is something.
That is definitely something.
All right. So if we're gonna jump back into Jake's story, but I feel like you are looking.
Oh, yeah, I'm checking the Reddit thread Alaska. In 2007, Alaska passed a law to impose a mandatory 99-year sentence for a police officer convicted of first-degree murder when it was found that they abused their power to commit the murder of Sonia.
So I'm pretty sure this guy is locked up.
Yes.
Or dead.
But I remember it was... sorry, I was listening to it as a background while I was doing some other chores. But it was kind of crazy because this cop also staged like this whole thing. Oh, I'm being shot at. But when the other police officers, it's like days or even months after Sanjay disappeared. Basically, it's a whole different thing, but the same cop. Apparently, he called the backup saying he's being shot at. When the backup came, they couldn't find anyone. And the truck there were indeed like bullets on the truck, but when they checked it, it was from the cop's actual gun. And when they asked, that cop was like, "Oh, this culprit took the gun from me and shot my truck using my gun." It's one of those crazy ones.
So this is a separate incident with this guy, right?
But it's the same guy who killed Sonia.
And in this incident, when his car got shot up, did he end up like killing someone?
No, because everyone now thinks that he made up this whole thing. No one was actually shooting at him.
So how did he get those bullets into? Did he just shoot his own car?
People assume, yeah.
For what reason? Just to shoot his own car?
Maybe to keep the attention away from him. We need to...
Okay, yeah. This is interesting.
This is very interesting, but yeah, there was this notion, at least from what I heard and read, that the Nome Police Department are, not the best in that regard.
Well, at
But
least
it could be different now.
this guy is definitely not a good guy.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit now to our case, and we were talking about Jake, the roommate. So this is the damning information on Jake, who is a father, I believe now, and has settled down from his Instagram profile picture. On July 8th, this would be maybe 2 weeks into the disappearance of Joseph, Jake was asked about scrapes that were seen on his face and arms.
Why wasn't he asked the same day the police actually asked him where was he? What was he doing?
Maybe at that point they didn't find him suspicious. He told that he got scratched while playing football with a friend on Thursday, June 30th, after Joseph was reported missing. Then they searched their home, where Jake and Joseph lived on, I think it was searched actually previously on July 3rd, and they found no signs of foul play. Jake Stettenbenz did not reply to media for comment on his potential, on his point of view. Joseph's phone records were obtained as well, and they found his last text message. It was sent on Saturday, 25th of June at 9:49 a.m. in the morning, and it was sent to a person by the name of Christine Piskoya. That's her name. She is a legal professional. We don't know exactly where, but she said that she had met Joseph in the small legal world of Alaska. Probably most lawyers know each other in Alaska, or there's a high chance to know someone because it's a smaller, less amount of legal people there. Christine said that they were colleagues and friends and nothing romantic between them because, Joseph was engaged to Megan, right? I believe Megan Ryder, if I remember her name correctly. So Christine said that her final interaction with Joseph, we don't know exactly what the text message was, but Christine said her final interaction with Joseph happened on Friday night when they went out and had a couple of beers. She talked to him on Saturday, and she invited him to the Arctic Native Brotherhood picnic that was supposed to be the next day on Sunday. However, Joseph, I think, declined and said that he is going to hike. Christine said that when she last spoke to Joseph around Saturday, she talked to him around 9 or in the afternoon, around night or the afternoon, sorry. And Joseph's vehicle was reported missing and founded on Monday. Okay, I know this is kind of slowing down here, but stay with me here. Christine, just like Joseph's mother Nelda, was concerned about Joseph hiking alone because Megan was supposed to come to Nome during the 4th of July celebrations. Christine suggested to Joseph that he should wait for his fiancée Megan to show up so that they could go hike together. However, Joseph told Christine that he's gonna go check it out in advance and he really wants to go. Christine tried to call Joseph on Sunday, but she only got his voicemail, so something must have been wrong by that time. Nome police have not said whether they believe foul play is involved in Joseph's disappearance, and no persons of interest have been named, and no arrests have been made in the case. The last time Joseph Balderas was seen, he was wearing a green and gray shirt, khaki cargo pants, sneakers with green tread. He was carrying a green backpack. He is a 6'1" man with black hair and brown eyes. So, this is the story, and I have a question for you. What do you think about Christine? Or do you maybe nothing? Maybe you don't think nothing of Christine.
Nothing. I could see it being just a great friend that you constantly like talk to, maybe even ask for like law advice. You know how lawyers could be like, oh, what do you think? Maybe, I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah. And I could see him just being very close friends with her, and she did warn him not to go hiking alone, but if I'm correct, he wanted to scope out the area so he and Joseph and his fiancée Megan could go up there and hike together, no?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's anything else other than friendship going on there.
You don't think it's weird that they went out for a beer on a Friday? It could happen, right? It's not like weird.
I could imagine myself going out for a beer on a Friday with a colleague. A close colleague.
Yeah.
But just friendship. I don't think there's anything weird, especially if, for example, you're living in Nome.
Exactly.
You're living in Nome, man.
What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, like, decline, okay, no, sorry, I'm just gonna stay at home.
Yeah, do what?
Yeah, sorry, I can't hang out with you. There's like limited amount of people you could already hang out with and limited amount of socialization and sunshine. That, I don't know, I don't think it's weird.
Why I'm asking is because I was reading a little bit on another podcast, Reddit subreddit. It's a big podcast ran by another guy, and maybe we're gonna touch upon that podcast in a bit. But
They're saying there's something going on with them?
people in the Reddit are saying that they're suspecting that there could be some sort of affair.
Oh.
But I don't know. I have no
Could
information.
be, actually. We need more information about this, and I wonder if Megan knows about it.
Yeah, and to be honest, I hate to speculate on this because we just don't know.
Okay, now I have a question for you. Would you hang out with a female colleague without letting your partner know? For a beer.
Just the two?
Yeah, just the two of you. Without letting your partner know.
That's
Long
already-
distance partner, by the way. It's a bit suspicious, right?
I guess it depends on the setting. If it's like low effort, if it's like literally work is over and the beer pub is right beside.
Oh yeah, and it's just like, oh, beer's over there, let's
Yeah.
just go for it.
But if you have to go back home, then dress up and go out again,
At 8 p.m. for
that's
example.
weird.
You think so?
That's weird. From a dude's perspective, I feel like that's weird.
And then
because like just to me it feels weird. It depends. Like, obviously it's possible, but like I would say to me it feels like more, maybe even more than half of such, like, let's say setups are kind of like flexible setups.
Okay.
It's not like very.
Yeah, because I can imagine myself hanging out with a male friend for a beer at, let's say, 8 p.m. I have to show up there. But I want to inform my partner, especially if that partner is miles away from me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it's Nome.
Okay, let's just put it this way. It could be just friendship. It could be more than friendship.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I don't want to speculate here too much because we really don't know. So we have to keep going. So now Nome, right?
Wait. Before we move forward, what do you really think happened to Joseph?
To Joseph? What I really think happened
Because
to
it
Joseph?
seems like we have the possibility of a bear attack, an accident, maybe he fell into a river, self-harm, or foul play. Which is the most likely thing that happened?
You know, it's a really funny question because I spent like 2 days looking and thinking about this case, but I didn't really think about what happened to Joseph, at least once.
Yeah.
He just went missing,
And that's it.
and that's it. and then there's a bunch of information. But what actually happened to Joseph?
Yeah, since we have the information laid out on us, not
I mean,
everything.
it looks to me that he went on a hiking trip in his car. He told his mother and Christine that he's gonna do it. He had fishing gear, so he was maybe going to fish in the river. The river is really close to the road, it's basically adjacent to the road. They found his car unlocked, so I don't think he willingly met up anyone there because it's super isolated. And the car was unlocked, so I feel like it was a safe location where you didn't even have to worry about getting your car stolen. So I feel like he went out for a bit. He didn't take his fishing stuff because it was still in the car. And to be honest, I would even say that to me it somehow sounds that a bear attack could be a possibility
Yeah.
because I could just see how he was just surprised by a bear and wasn't ready and
He was
start
dragged into the river.
but then there were no signs of it. So maybe he actually went for a bigger run
And what about the scent up in the bridge?
up to the bridge. Yeah. So I don't know actually what happened. To me it's a really weird case. What do you think happened?
It's very tough because I could see it being a bear attack, but if the bear only dragged him in the river, then sure, maybe no scent could be found. Because
But there
water,
would be blood, you know.
There should be,
They found
like-
his car literally
everything's clean.
the next day.
Yeah, there should be like pieces of clothing here and there, no?
Just foul play is kind of hard to imagine. But to be honest, now that we know this weird story of Nome, this darker story of Nome, maybe it's not that weird. Maybe it's not that hard to imagine.
Or could there be a possibility that the cops were involved
Cops killed Joseph and covered up the story
due to, you know,
due to him working as a legal guy.
indigenous?
Indigenous? He wasn't
He
indigenous.
wasn't indigenous? I thought he was indigenous. Oh, he came from Alaska. Okay, sorry, my
He
bad.
came from Texas.
From Texas, I meant.
Yeah. He wasn't indigenous. I don't think they targeted him for race.
Racial, yeah.
I don't think that happened. So I don't think so. But let me tell you a little bit about Nome because we will gonna get back into this
Okay.
discussion in a little bit. So I went a little bit and had to find out what it is like in Nome. So life in Nome is unlike almost anywhere else in the United States. It's a small, isolated community of around 3,500 people on the coast of the Bering Sea, with no roads connecting Nome to the rest of Alaska. Everything from groceries to building materials arrive by plane or by barge during the ice-free season. Life tends to move more slowly than in larger cities. People often know one another and the community is close-knit. It's common to see neighbors helping each other, especially during harsh weather or emergencies. The nearby Nome Council Highway, where Joseph's car was found, is one of the few roads leading into the remote tundra and the mountains. Mile marker 44, the specific location where Joseph's truck was found, is where you begin to feel like you've left civilization behind. Well, there isn't a town or landmark exactly at mile 44. It's one of the most remote and scenic stretches of the road between Solomon and Skookum Pass. This section is characterized by broad tundra valleys, rolling hills, and very few signs of human activity. It's common to drive for long periods without seeing another vehicle, especially outside of the short summer tourist season. So Nome is a very remote location. We established that. Now, what else I want to establish is an article written by the Nome Nugget. It is the news paper of the town. So basically, I saw some things from it. I wanted to read a few things out of it. This is when they were deciding to declare Joseph Balderas to be dead. a jury of 6 came to that unanimous conclusion that he was no longer alive. And they shared some additional information during this court hearing. Apparently, a driver had seen Joseph on Saturday on the highway. That's interesting. He was standing by his truck, which was pulled off the road. We don't know exactly who saw this man, but I went on Facebook. Group, which is created for Joseph's case. And there is a man, there's a woman by the name of Carrie Gdula. Carrie Gdula is replying here on another person's comment, and she is saying, "My uncle spoke to him after he'd parked. Thought he had broken down and stopped to help Joseph. He moved along when Joseph said that everything was fine." So this could be the connection. Carrie Gdula from Facebook, her uncle could potentially be the person which is referred to in the Nome Nugget article about Joseph when they say that someone had seen him by his truck. So it was interesting to me because that person mentioned that it seemed that he needed help.
Yeah.
But then when they approached him, he didn't need help. Someone else saw Joseph driving on the same road on Sunday. Now this is bizarre to me.
Sunday?
This is why it's bizarre to me, because remember on Sunday Christine already called and she only got voicemail.
Yeah.
So if this is correct, this is why it was confusing for me. If this is correct, that means that Joseph was still alive by Sunday. And he was driving.
Maybe the phone died. And it was a remote location.
Could be that Christine called in the evening, and Joseph was seen in the day.
Oh, could be too, yeah.
The area where Joseph was last seen is heavily populated by bears. Despite extensive ground and aerial searches in June and July, and again in October, neither Joseph's remains nor clues to his disappearance have been found by multiple search groups and search professionals, including professionally trained search dogs. Selena Balderas, Joseph's sister, and the witness in the hearing said that she suspects that her brother was killed and it was foul play. She says, "I do think he is dead. I believe he was murdered." Private investigator Andy Clamser, hired by the family, said essentially the same thing. He said some type of criminal offense explains his disappearance. It is less animal predation or an accident, less likely that something happened when he was out hiking. He says it's more likely that someone killed Joseph. This is the PI of the family. Tracy Bowie, co-worker at the courthouse, said that Joseph was very dependable and would always notify in advance if he was going to miss work. Tracy believes something happened to Joseph near his car where it was found. Witnesses told the court they did not think Joseph showed signs of intending to commit self-harm or walk away onto the tundra. Joseph had seemed happy and full of plans to move to Juneau in August and marry his fiancée, Megan Ryder. He had planned to open up a law practice as well. Private investigator Clamser interviewed around 40 of Joseph's close friends and family members. He did not find anything to show Joseph was intending on self-harm or similarly would leave without telling somebody. It was opposite to that. Clamser said that Joseph had close and lasting friendships, was close to his family, had short and long-range plans. His girlfriend was coming to visit him next week. Texts between Joseph and his girlfriend were consistent with a couple who is planning to get married. They had loving romantic text messages. The last message between them occurred on Saturday, the 2 days before he was reported missing, on Monday. On Saturday, basically, Megan Ryder's phone provided most of the text messages. We don't know exactly what was said between them, but they were texting on Saturday. Phone records from Joseph's phone carrier showed no calls or texts after June 25th. So this is interesting. So we got two pieces of information. One piece of information is that now it seems that he was still alive on Sunday. And the second piece of information is that family thinks he was murdered. What do you think about that?
It could be a possibility. I'm still thinking about that scent that was found on the bridge, the Big Hurrah Bridge.
I don't think it was found on the bridge. It was found, there was a piece of brush that was indicated by dogs, and this brush was on the way to the highway, to the bridge.
On the way.
It was not,
On the bridge itself.
They never indicated on the bridge.
Okay.
They indicated to some specific area on
Close
the way
to the bridge.
Yeah, on the way to the bridge.
Is there a possibility that he, fishing, was looking for a good spot to conduct fishing and he was picked up?
Picked up?
Picked up by, I don't know, a car? Or he did a hitchhiking to another spot, but something happened. Maybe that's the reason why the last scent is on that area?
My logic is that something happened close to the car because he left it unlocked with fishing stuff.
But what about the scent, though?
The scent led to the river, but not on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
So he potentially went to the river.
How deep is this river? Maybe he drowned?
Yeah. So now you're thinking about the accident, right? Drowning accident.
No, I'm thinking about everything. I'm all over the place here because I'm thinking since the scent was picked up close to the bridge, could there be a possibility that, I don't know, sometime during his fishing, it's like, okay, maybe I need to cross the bridge, but I don't really want to go back to my car. Maybe there's a car here and there was a car, he hitchhiked, and then that car did something, the person in the car did something wrong with him. Or that car drove him to another area, or the other side of the river, and something happened to him in that river. But the people who were investigating or searching for him were not able to cover that part.
I'm thinking maybe it's possible he goes to the river, comes up from the river, now someone else pulled up, and there was some sort of confrontation.
Yeah, could also be the case. Or maybe he went to the river and just got
sucked in,
or carried away by the current.
We'd like to know.
Yeah, we'd like to know how deep is this river and how strong are the current. Because if he drowned, then actually, if it was an accident, then shouldn't the body float? And if so, will someone actually find it, or is it a river that flows to a remote area where no one ever goes?
So the river, I think, follows the highway, as I understand, from my memory. And it's a fairly narrow river. It's not very big. So I don't know how deep it's going to be. It could be deep.
And so far, my experiences with rivers they're not usually deep, no. But it's a mountain.
Yeah, I don't know. I think our experience could be way different.
Yeah, the rivers here in Lithuania are just, let's put it this way, very safe.
Not really. You could legit die here.
Really?
Yeah.
On some remote location, or here in Vilnius, it feels pretty safe.
I mean, it's still deep there.
Really?
Yeah, you could legit die. Yeah. All right, so we're going back now. We are going back to another angle of this case. Okay, so the angle that we're gonna go to right now is called the Up and Vanished podcast. Have you never heard about it? Come
I
on.
heard about
You
it.
heard about it?
Hey, yeah.
How did you hear about it?
I believe I randomly click on some of their things and I listen to some of their cases.
During this research?
Not this research.
Independently?
Yeah.
You heard about this thing?
I listen to true crime podcasts here and there.
Up and Vanished is actually that big
Yeah.
that you randomly knew about it.
Hey, I'm not that bad. Yes.
No, I'm not saying that, but I had no idea about this Up and Vanished.
Oh. Yeah.
So you know about this podcast.
They also have a podcast about this case, no?
That's literally the only reason why I'm bringing it up right now.
But yeah, I also listened to that one. I couldn't remember exactly what because I listened to like 3-4 different YouTube videos about this. The podcast, long podcast. So
I tried to listen to Up and Vanished podcast about Joseph's case because they do talk. The host talks about it. I couldn't really do it because they're doing the format where it's you have to listen like they go like investigate I think deeply, but it's you have to listen to like 4 or 5 episodes, like
Yeah.
5-6 hours to kind of get somewhere. So I wasn't able to listen. I listened to a little bit. Basically we have some information about the just bear with me here. Basically the guy, apparently the host, he actually went. His name is Payne Lindsey. Payne like Liam Payne, but this is his name, Payne. Like Liam Payne's last name is his first name. And his last name is Lindsey. So Payne Lindsey is the host. He actually went and flew out to Nome. And he was doing some digging.
that's commitment.
Yeah. So he was also mentioned on a AOL article. They say that podcast host Payne Lindsey traveled to Nome, Alaska at the edge of the Arctic Circle to investigate Joseph Balderas and Florence Okpiluk case. Florence Okpiluk is another woman. Closely, people are kind of connected. They're not connected. I don't think they're connected. At least I don't see how they're...
Or are they similar?
Well, they're both from Nome. So I guess that's the similarity. So basically he says, Payne Lindsey says, everyone is turning on each other. If you are an individual involved in one of these cases, I would trust no one. There are people who have been scared to talk for years, and now they're coming forward. There are people who are snitching because they feel guilty. Payne Lindsey told The Independent that his investigation for the podcast picked up where private investigator Clamshers left off. From 1960 to 2004, there were reported 24 disappearances from the remote isolated town of Nome. According to the FBI, an investigation was launched amid fears of a serial killer in the city. But the FBI found that alcohol abuse and the Alaskan wilderness were most likely to blame, not an individual serial killer. So now, this guy, Payne Lindsey, he has his own Reddit thread, okay, for his podcast. And I think they kind of stopped covering these two cases. They were doing like a season 4.
Season 4?
Yeah, but not on the case, but season 4 of like different topics.
Okay. Season 4 of their podcast in general.
Yeah, and they were covering, but I think they have stopped releasing for a bit, and I think the reviews are mixed. Let's put it this way. But I found some Reddit threads that we can quickly take a look. So first one is someone talking about it. Season 4. This is on True Crime Podcast Reddit thread, and this is the post goes like this. Season 4 in Alaska is still going and beginning to rival hide and seek in how misguided and outright dangerous it has became. Payne Lindsey saw how basically, yeah, there's people just saying that this podcast, they feel like it stopped for some reason. However, this is the big important thing right now, okay? I went on this specific podcast subreddit. So basically everything that I just talked about, like for the last minute, please ignore, because I was talking about the wrong link. Now I'm talking about Up and Vanished Reddit thread. It's a Reddit thread
For the podcast
for
alone.
the podcast. There's a search bar. I typed in Joseph Balderas because they talk about multiple cases. We're interested right now in this one specific case. And I found some stuff. So I opened up the first search result. This is 2 years ago. This is someone from who is listening to the podcast. Obviously, we don't have time to listen to the whole
The
thing.
whole thing, yeah.
So now we're gonna read a little bit. So motive is the subject of this post. And here it goes. What's the possible motive in the Joseph Balderas case, other than jealousy from Christine?
Oh my gosh, okay.
I don't know, maybe I'm just not good at this, but Jake and Christine both seem very convincingly innocent. Did the trip to the beach with Christine actually happen? Sorry if this has been brought up already. I just got caught up and am just getting on this sub to read others' thoughts. Also, he's totally left Flo's case in the dust, blah blah blah, but this is a different thing. And then the first comment is, I think he was obviously dating Christine. And when the family all found out about the fiancé, someone took him out for hurting Christine. So this is what they're saying. This is what people on Reddit are saying. They're saying that Christine didn't know about Megan.
Actually, now thinking about it, the fact that Christine knows where he was going and he disappeared. Isn't that interesting? Christine was the only one who knows. Who knew where he was going on that particular day.
We don't know
Where he was hiking.
we don't know that she was the only one who knew, right?
At least the information we have, it seems like she's the only one.
Yeah,
Feels like their
True.
roommates should also know about it, no?
that is interesting. So someone replied to this comment. The only issue with this is that Christine had never called him before and called him like a dozen times the morning before he allegedly went missing. However, the theory makes slightly more sense than the family wanting them to date and taking him out when he didn't. Wait, what? Wait, what?
I did not understand any of it.
Wait, what? The only issue with this is that Christine had never called him before and called him like a dozen times the morning before he allegedly went missing. So
She called him dozens of times before he went missing? On that day? On Saturday?
okay, yeah, or maybe leading up.
Okay.
Yeah, the cold thing is super odd and pretty damning. If they were obviously dating, then why would they never talk on the phone? To me, it seems like maybe Christine wanted more, but Joseph didn't. Knowing he was about to move away from her and marry his fiancée, maybe she was super drunk and lashed out, I don't know. The uncle seems sketchy, and the idea of having his truck where it was left, I keep thinking was his ex-cop idea. What?
Okay, I feel like this is
There's
some information that we could have gotten if we only listened to the
up
podcast.
and
Yeah,
up and
it feels
Disappearance.
like intensely deep
Up and vanished, sorry.
investigation.
Yeah, seems like
Feels like we barely scratched the surface with our research.
I feel like the guy went to Alaska, Payne, Lindsey, and he just probably
Ask everyone.
asked everyone's opinion.
All of the
about it.
gossips and
He was just going just to everywhere.
Hats off. That's amazing.
I mean,
That's commitment right
he's
there.
working on the case, right? He's trying to make it happen. So yeah, this was weird, right?
I mean, now I need more information about this Christine.
But to be honest, my real question: are you willing to listen to Up and Vanished now for
6 hours?
the whole season 4? Are you willing?
Oh, it's the whole season 4.
I think the whole season 4 is about Alaska, and specifically Florence case. I listened to the first episode. So Florence case was supposed to be the flagship case for the whole season, and then Joseph case and maybe something else.
I would if we don't talk about any other cases, but in our pace, we research one case and then right after we talk about it and then right after we research another one. I do not really think we have the time to fully deep dive.
No, I don't think so. But we have more. This is 5 months ago,
Okay.
and it goes, answer is right in front of you. And this is what they do. They write, Joseph Balderas, most likely suspect is Christine. No phone, different alibi than sister, last person to see him alive. Motive, accident, probably overdose. What?
Overdose? What?
I don't get it. Then they go into the comments. Comments are saying, yeah, it's very winded podcast. I was so intrigued when it initially came out, and more episodes followed a year later. I had to listen to all episodes of season 4 again to reacquaint myself. Unless someone comes out and confesses, this is dead ends, since he has no backing of the Alaska PD. I'm trying to see if there's I know there was something. I know there's something here. I personally think it was Jake.
Same.
Maybe Jake and Christine. But Jake did something to get those injuries. And he tried to get his friends to produce an alibi for him. The other comment is like Jake snapped and then shot him? Question mark. And the answer is, or he saw Jake committing a crime. And now we know that Jake is a family guy. He has a Instagram picture with a baby boy on his shoulder.
Yeah.
So is Jake the baby daddy?
I'm not gonna lie, he is
Killer?
way more suspicious than Christine. Way more.
So you're saying that baby daddy Jake could actually...
Who's baby daddy Jake? Baby
Oh,
daddy of whom?
Of a kid.
Okay, so the dad.
The dad, right? So Jake is... you think Jake...
I mean, let's put it this way. The fact that he lied to the police and then texted his friends about it, and one of the friends said, but you weren't with me, you were with Cam and Cass. And that's pretty much it, that's all we know. It's a bit suspicious.
Actually, sorry for interrupting. I just thought to myself, isn't it weird that Jake texted his friends right after? What I'm saying, if you are actually afraid to talk to the police because you've never spoken to them and you said some stupid stuff, why would then you text your friends? Because if you just lie to the police and it's okay, whatever, it's a lie. If it comes out, it comes out. But why text your friends after?
I could see how he would freak out and go, because the police might go to the friends and they would have conflicting statements.
Actually, as I was saying, I feel like I also figured out in my head what could be happening. In my opinion, it could be that when Jake first said this lie, maybe they were all thinking that Joseph would still reappear. But then maybe a week later, when it was obvious that, something really bad happened to Joseph, that's when he started to think about how he looks in the eyes of police.
Could be, yeah.
And then he's trying to cover himself up a bit.
Could be.
That is interesting. So another thing I did, I'm gonna try to see if I could actually pull this up as well. And this is the last thing I want to pull up. So I went on Up and Vanished podcast Reddit thread and I searched Christine
Okay.
this time. And the first one that comes up is something Christine said in episode 9 is bugging me. Just want to say up top, this is purely academic.
Academic, okay.
Or anecdotal, maybe this person wanted to say.
Okay.
But he said this is purely academic. I'm not making any suggestions or insinuations, just spitballing. I might be reading too much into this, but in episode 9, around 38 minutes in, Payne is interviewing Christine, and the nature of her relationship with Joseph comes up. Payne asks, so you guys were never boyfriend-girlfriend then? Christine says, no, we were just friends. We're good friends. My family adopted him. We took him right in. He fit right in. And my family thought we should date, but him and I just friends. Better off friends.
He had a fiance? Excuse me?
Yeah. The phrase better off friends struck me as strange. A strange thing to say. Could be wrong, but I feel like someone usually says better off friends after deciding that to be the case, having either been more than friends at one point, or at the very least weighed up whether being more than friends was viable. Okay, this is I know what they're saying. They're saying that like when you say something, oh, we're better off as friends, it usually means that you already been something more than friends, but then you're kind of, okay, let's just go back to being friends.
Yeah.
In other words, was there a point in time where a relationship was theoretically on the cards, either from Christine's perspective, Joseph's, or from their mutual perspective? If there was, and they're better off friends, somewhere along the line, either Christine or Joseph made a call that was the case. Could have been a mutual decision, a response to one person approaching the other, or even just Christine deciding it and it being a non-issue. Could also be nothing, and I'm overthinking, something incredibly insignificant, but say that a relationship was never on the cards and never happened, theoretically or otherwise, surely we're just friends would suffice. It just made me wonder whether there might be some relevant context that's being left out. Obviously, you can't distill decades worth of context into minutes-long interview, but I wonder how that would have played out. More to get a better idea of their dynamic than to pry over their intimate details. Also, worth considering that the answer within the context of the interview makes total sense and it isn't that deep. Was there a point where they were more than friends and decided that they were better off friends and it's being downplayed? And that's the whole post.
Okay, for me, the weirdest part is that the family practically adopted Joseph and think they should date the dude as a fiance.
Maybe they didn't know.
But why?
Because he never said. He never mentioned...
Megan.
Maybe he never mentioned Megan to Christine's family.
Well, that's screwed up. Or to Christine, maybe.
Or to but Christine knew, because she said, wait until Megan comes here, then you could go hike.
And then Megan should have told the family.
You mean Christine?
Oh, Christine should have told her family, like, guys, he has a fiance?
Or maybe it's not that serious. Maybe it's just like...
Maybe it's just like a quick, oh, I think you guys should date. And Christine was like, no.
He's married.
He's
about to get married.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe.
Maybe we're looking too deep into it.
But still, just because there's something mentioned like that, that's already something.
It is something. But also the fact that, like, why is this such a big deal in the grand scheme of Joseph's case?
That Christine's... Are they really trying to say that Christine is somehow responsible for Joseph's disappearance?
Just because there could be a potential affair?
And she's jealous, so she ends up somehow killing, or someone from her family ends up killing Joseph because they're jealous that he is gonna get married,
This is such a like minuscule thing, you know what I mean?
right?
To kill someone over.
Why would you kill someone?
Yeah. I would even say Jake is a bit more suspicious, mainly with the lying. And he lied, but then the friend was like, no, you weren't with me. Who was he with? Who was he actually with that day? And what's up with the bruises and the scars
From Jake.
from Jake?
So last thing I want to say, I just ran into it. So it's info. It's another post from the Reddit thread. When I searched Christine, the subject is info from Kirk. So who is Kirk? I believe Kirk. I could be wrong here. Could be somehow related to Christine. Maybe an uncle or stepfather, or I could be completely wrong here. Regardless, this is what the comment says. Christine has always been the one involved for me. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Kirk kept saying, they cleared us because we all had alibis. That is why the timeline matters so much. We know there isn't an alibi in regards to Christine depending on the time of actual harm coming to Joseph, because we don't know when something actually happened to Joseph. And it could have happened late Friday night after the bars. We don't have an alibi for Christine. She was with Joseph. Multiple thoughts. First, is there any way to get the call record and text messages from Christine's phone from the cell phone company? Wish we could put the group anonymous on this to do some data breach. Haha. That seems to enable by Baba the facts surrounding his disappearance, being that he was out with Christine and she factory reset her phone.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it seems like it would give a lot of clarity on the timeline. I think she found out that night about him being engaged or someone else to someone else. Maybe she involved family members after the fact. Second, whoever Kirk and Bonnie I think maybe also related somehow to Christine, are speaking with in these phone conversations. It really seems like they are explaining the current situation to whomever it is, like the listener has no information of any on any of it. Kirk seems so focused on how himself and family have been affected by the podcast, but it is clear that whoever the caller is, they are in the family, part of the us. It definitely is someone young. Yeah, so half of it I understand, half of it I don't understand.
Same here.
Like,
Okay, so
what's your
people are
take?
saying that Christine could have been
Yeah, they're
more
saying
involved.
that Christine somehow could have been here involved.
I just don't find it. Is it even possible for a woman to outmatch a guy in the wilderness?
I think they're somehow saying that
A family
her
member did.
family killed him because, and I think what they're mostly leaning towards, the people in the comments, are that Christine finds out about
Megan.
and then she then somehow arranges the murder. This is what they're saying.
Is there a possibility that Megan was in the hike with Joseph? Or someone else was with Joseph and got picked up?
I don't know, to be honest.
We don't know. It was never investigated, no?
It was probably investigated, but we don't know. Or at least I don't know.
Was Joseph actually alone in that hike? That's my question.
I always thought that he was.
But is there a possibility that Christine was there as well? And one of her family members? But then again, I don't know. It just feels so minuscule to kill someone over jealousy. But hey, we don't know.
Yeah, to me, I need to look into more details. But to me, it seems like the Christine angle is a bit of a reach.
Yeah. For me as well. I feel like Jake is a bit more suspicious and people should look into him more.
Jake is suspicious, but now his profile pic is just a dad. He's just a dad now.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it was
yeah, obviously.
never explained what he was actually doing and who he was with.
It feels like they had some sort of a strange boys' night out with like beverages
And illegal substances.
maybe something that they don't want to talk about. Or it could be, or they killed Joseph, or he killed Joseph. Maybe he had a fight, like yeah. Jake is also like, are we sure he's okay? Maybe he's okay, but I feel like, once again, I don't know what happened to Joseph.
Same here. It could be a complete accident. Could be a bear attack. Very clean bear attack, by the way. It could have been. I don't see it being self-harm, though. Do you see it being self-harm?
No, I don't.
It feels like he actually just went on that hike with the intention of going back. You know what I mean?
I think so. I believe the stories that he wanted to get married to Megan and
move.
start his own business.
And moves to another place.
Yeah. He
Same
looked
here.
like a happy guy from the pictures. Looked like he was the type of guy who would be able to do a lot
Yeah.
and to take
I
care
agree.
of himself. So it looked to me like he was not self-harm.
Did he fell into the river?
Yeah, that's another question.
Or maybe it's just, you know how sometimes the simplest answers are what actually happened? Did he get caught up in the river?
Yeah.
Or was it really foul play from Christine or from Jake or from someone else?
Or from someone else, yeah.
Or could be a random person who just saw him and decided to do something terrible.
So on this note, I will just mention one thing. There's another case that I briefly looked into. We don't have time today to talk about it, and I'm not sure if we're going to talk about it immediately right after this, but it would be good, I think, eventually to talk about the Florence Okpiluk case. This is another case that has been investigated by Payne Lindsey. He was also looking into this one. It's also pretty strange, and I feel like worth definitely putting out there. So let's talk about potentially that case as well, but not today. And
Could be in the next few episodes.
Exactly. I would like to wrap it up here, unless you have something else you want to add.
No, I'm actually surprised. Once again, everyone, hands off to you, because when you Google Joseph's case, there's really nothing, and I have no idea how you managed to find this much information. You even found conspiracies and suggestions, opinions.
I guess just a little bit of a creative Googling, but nothing special.
I mean, you managed to stretch it to over an hour.
Yeah, we did it. I think there's more, to be honest, here than meets the eye.
And Nome as well.
Nome as well.
Yeah, we need to check it out more. Maybe talk about a few more cases about Nome.
Yeah, it's really sad what is happening to people in Nome. And I feel terrible for everyone who is affected by these topics.
Definitely. And wherever Joseph is... Oh, wait. Do you think there's a possibility that he started a new life somewhere else? He's completely alive.
No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, me too.
Yeah, I don't think he's alive.
Yeah. Well,
sadly.
May he rest in peace, and I hope his family finds some answers soon. And if they do, we'll update you guys.
Yeah, I think this was then good for today. Thank you guys. Leave your thoughts in the comment section of our YouTube channel. Please follow this podcast on all of the podcast apps. You could also subscribe to our YouTube channel where we leave visuals about the case. And please share this podcast to someone who think would like it. And we will talk to you on the next one.
And hey, maybe some of you actually listen to Payne Lindsey's podcast. Please let us know what happened there.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yes, good. Very good, Rain. Seriously. If someone listened to season 4, tell us what, basically sum it up.
anything we missed, let us know.
Yeah, because I
Thank
feel
you.
like they have a bunch of stuff on season 4.
Yeah, he actually flew there and investigated. He has so much more information than us.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you guys.
thank you. See you very soon.
Bye.
Bye.